The wine industry in Missouri was thriving by the middle of the 19th century. And just about that time, a tiny little bug called phylloxera hitched a ride on some American rootstock over to Europe. And unbeknownst to them, the French vintners planted those vines. But because the vinifera that was native to Europe didn't evolve alongside the phylloxera louse, they had no defense against infestation. Missouri played a massive role in helping to solve the impending crisis.
The 18th and 19th centuries are a time of great discovery. Certainly people are trying to understand what grows where, how the plant kingdom and the animal kingdom coexist and work together. And so people are constantly shipping stuff back and forth. We don't really realize during the 19th century that there's this bug called phylloxera. There's some other bugs that we're starting to learn about and that can be really troublesome. We just know we can't grow European vines here in the United States, and we can't quite figure out what is to blame. Now, there's a guy named Charles Valentine Riley who lives here in Missouri, and he's figured out that there's this bug called phylloxera. He finds it fascinating because it goes through these various different stages. I mean, in our vineyards here, you can still find phylloxera quite easily. If you turn a leaf over and there's a whole bunch of little bulbous points on that leaf, that's a phylloxera bug doing its job, which is to gain whatever nourishment it can from the plant and move on. It doesn't kill the plant. It can create problems, but they're usually not fatal. Now, the difference here is that phylloxera, we think in 1861, takes a trip aboard a steamship across the Atlantic. We think because it was a steamship, not a sailing vessel, that the time was shortened enough to allow the bug to survive. And it shows up in the Rhone Valley, and it is no exaggeration to say within 10 years or so, the entire French wine industry is decimated, is reeling. And it spreads to Spain and Italy and everywhere else.
The phylloxera plague or crisis was huge. I mean, it literally was killing tens of thousands of acres of vineyards, killing that whole culture of the wine industry. And the French put together these scientific panels of top researchers to try to figure out what was happening. And they were in touch with leading growers and researchers over here. And C.V. Riley finally, identified the causal agent, the phylloxera root louse. It's a soil-borne insect. It lives off these grapevine roots. It feeds on them. The Native American varieties are hybrids that have a high level of Native American genetics in their makeup, are resistant to phylloxera. Because the phylloxera evolved here in the United States, or in North America, I should say, with the indigenous grape varieties.